Greetings, community, and welcome to Enterprise Comics and another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 12/3/2025. And it's great to be here and it's great to be alive. I appreciate each and every single one of you that cruise on through. Without you, it'd only be half as much fun as it actually is. So let's go ahead and start it off cruising over and talking about Dynamite with Blue Falcon and Dynamite issue number 4. This was a series that I was anxious to start, and now I can't even think about considering getting rid of if I wanted to. This is one not only that surprised me, but really intrigued me when I started getting deeper and deeper at each every single issue. I really love this series, and I can't wait for issue 4 to drop out. However, it didn't make my blue light special, but it was up there. Let's move off from Dynamite and cruise over to Mad Cave and talk about Speed Racer issue number 5. Another fine example of what David Pepos does when he writes. I love these classic series that he's been doing. He's been able to do so well with these classic tales, not only reinvigorating them in a way in which that I never anticipated them to be, but also in a way that I think the originators of these characters, these stories, these times, with these much again Speed Racer that David is doing, Captain Planet, and along with also what escapes me at the moment. Oh, Space Ghost. All those things are stories of my past. Speed Racer, one of my favorites. And issue number five coming out is not only one of my most anticipated, but every time I read it, it brings me right back to my past, my childhood. And it not only pays such a tribute to what I remember as a kid, but it just brings so much more gravity to the stories as I become an adult. And it just the two meet in such a wonderful place that I can't wait to get my hands on issue number 5, Speed Racer. Let's move on from Mad Cave's fine example of another fine book by David Pepos, Speed Racer issue number 5, and cruise over to Image Comics. They're going to bring us 2 books, starting off with G.I. Joe issue number 15. I love what they're doing. They're finally doing this massive crossover between Void Rivals, which is totally yet to, which I can't wait, meet our planetary system. But we do now have an integration of Transformers and G.I. Joe, and we're seeing that play out more extensively as each issue comes out. I can't wait to get a hold of issue number 15 of G.I. Joe. The reason why is I'm liking how I'm seeing so much of these stories come out of Transformers and how well these two are integrating themselves. Let's move on from G.I. Joe issue number 15, cruise over to Rook Exodus issue number 9. I have to admit, you have to read 8. I love the fact that this book is back. This one is one that I truly enjoy because of the nature of what it tells. This is a story of man just screwing up his own planet, learning how to terraform other planets so he can further screw them up. We're also seeing individuals that refuse to give up on a planet, even though that they've been abandoned there. That's not the only reason, just for survival, but for the survival of the planet and the life forms that are essentially innocent partakers of a destructing world. I really dig this concept, and I'm really liking how it's playing out so far. So, Rook Exodus issue number 9, even though I've yet to read 8, it's definitely on my most anticipated reads. Let's move out from Image Studios and cruise over to Marvel. And Marvel's going to start off with Marvel's Black, White, and Blood and Guts issue number 3. Now, the cool thing about this is Taboo, Ben Earl, a few writers that I not only enjoy reading, but are doing their contribution to these stories of these overall anthology tales that we get in these Marvel series. The Black, White, Blood, and Guts has not only been entertaining and fun, but it's been bringing in writers and artists that I thoroughly enjoy, not only reading, but appreciating their artwork. So here's another fun example of, oh man, I forgot I got books too, of Marvel, Black, White, Blood and Guts issue number 3. Hold on. I'm spacing. And that's not even what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. All right, let's see if I can keep it together. I'll try to, even though I'm very totally forgot I had books. All right, so that was Marvel's Black, White, Blood and Guts, issue number 3 that I'm looking forward to reading. Moving on from that, let's talk about Miles Morales, issue number 41. I can't even recall if I got it. Let's look. I know. So I didn't. But you got to admit, checks out. not even segue, but look at that cover. Highly recommend it. Might be a sought after one. It was a Fantastic Four Rivals. I think that's issue number 4 on the Fantastic Four, right? 6. That's what I said. Issue number 6. All right. So Marvel's Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 41 is a further telling of the fallout from what we get from the incursion stuff that we had from issue number 5. As he comes back to the world and he's trying to figure out what's been going on and deal with Rabble all over again. I think he's still grappling with what he had to contend with all this whole getting Billy back in this adventure on the incursion endgame stuff, issue 1 through 5. Also, still reeling in the idea that doesn't really quite know how he is not only affecting his own universe, but the other universe, but trying to come to terms with what it means now that he is back and how that kind of possibly does work. I'm looking forward to this fight with Rabble, and then we're going round 3, I believe, with Rabble. Rabble essentially keeps kicking his ass, and it's not that I enjoy watching Miles get his butt kicked as much as I do enjoy Rabble's character. I really been digging it. Hey, Agu, I appreciate you cruising on through. So again, that was issue number 41 of Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Let's cruise out from that and cruise over to Spider-Girl issue number 7. This was a character that was brought to us by Dan Slott in his writing in The Spider-Boy. I like this. Now that Dan got his, along with Williamson, Johnson, the few other people that are now signed on with Marvel, Slott not also signed on with Marvel, ended his commitment with what he was doing on his ongoing with Spider-Boy. And what we get is another writer writing Spider-Girl after the writing and introduction of Spider-Girl in a series with Spider-Boy, if you follow. So if I can't get a series with Spider-Boy and I have to wait until either Slott figures out a way to write for it while he's still doing all the DC stuff, or I'm going to keep reading Spider-Girl. I'm just saying. Been digging it. All right, hey, let's move on from Spider-Girl issue number 7 and cruise on over to Spider-Man New York issue number 3. Now, I did read 1. I haven't read 2 yet. Sorry, I'm way behind. I'm going to do a little unboxing thing. I'm going to show that soon. But hey, I'm just saying, I'm like a month behind. I'm still catching up, but hey, it's not that I haven't been enjoying it. I read issue number 1. It was a great introduction. Just a little behind. I do highly recommend this Eric Larson's reintroduction to this 3rd volume of Spider-Man New York. It's not only something that we get from Larson that doesn't get the right for Marvel as regularly as I definitely like to see, but we're also getting something that's super enjoyable to read because it's New York. I mean, hey, look, I know it's a niche character, but if you dig it, you're digging it. Hey, Jag, I appreciate you being here, and if there's anyone I may have missed, I'm going to cruise on through and see if I see you. There's an Agu, there's a Jag. Hey, see 3 hanging out with me, and I appreciate all of you. Let's move out from the Spider-Man New York issue number 3 and cruise over to the Ultimate Universe number 2, Years In, issue number 1. I don't care. I don't think you're right. Yeah. So what I want to make sure I got on this one was here we are getting an introduction of a character. Which I yet to see is the Ultimate Daredevil. How to get this cover? Just how do you get this cover? By the looks of it, I don't think it's a traditional character we're used to seeing. However, this is not a traditional book. Ultimate is not a traditional book. Now, I've been telling people for a few years now that Marvel wasn't really considering any ongoing series a couple years ago. So when this Ultimate stuff was coming out, I guess people were under the impression this was going to be an ongoing series. Even the writers. Sorry to say. So if this book seems a little rushed, what they're really trying to do is pack in a lot of information before we get to the end. This end game stuff that's happening and finalizing everything essentially in that, I want to say by April. So again, what we're getting is stories that was initially intended to be a 4 to 5 year run is crammed down into 2.5 years. Just saying. So don't get discouraged if you are kind of feeling like a lot is getting thrown at you. There's going to be a lot thrown at you, and they might even end up doing double issues. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I've been looking forward to that book for a while because this does end up recapping what not only where we're at, but how it goes from here to go ahead and get to the end game stuff that's going to start in December. Just saying. All right, let's move out from the Ultimate Endgame. It's a mouthful. 2 years in, issue number 1, and cruise over to. All right, now look, this was almost my Blue Light special. I almost literally flipped a coin. So let's just say we're almost splitting it. Just saying. So Venom, issue number 252. Wait, I skipped. Oh no, I didn't. All right, here we go. I skipped to my Lou, is what I do. So I end up getting not only the Venom issue 252, what you're going to end up seeing is an introduction of a hybrid character. If I recall, I think Jordan Blum does this. So it's another reason why I went kind of heavy on this. Is a person I know, and I appreciate his writing. End up doing one of the stories that's in here. So we get a character that's I believe it's Peter Brock. Interesting hybrid. And that's what we're going to get. It's an interesting hybrid. So Venom 252 is what we're getting. This, as you can see, there's no spoilers just by showing you each and every single one of these covers that I end up buying. It's like a blend of a Spider-Man Venom, a Venom Man, Spider Venom. This is a well. This is actually one of my favorite ones. Now I look at it. It's a cool cover. Is a continuation of what we're getting. This a rebirth, reimagination, of Venom. I've been enjoying this journey so far, especially as we're getting with the understanding of why Mary Jane had a bond, the understanding why Eddie Brock had a bond with the Carnage stuff, seeing how that is going to go ahead and have its evolution essentially and bridge between the Spider-Man, Carnage, and Venom stuff into a storyline that's going to be coming out, if I recall, in February. It's inevitable. It's all been culminating to this. And I really been digging it because essentially what's been running parallel are the two storylines between Carnage and Venom, because they're both having hosts in which that they had to make a deal with and didn't necessarily want to bond with in these deals. But they're both subject circumstance. None of them want to be in the circumstance. And I like that because of these parallel stories going on, it's really not that they're just running parallel, but they're inevitably running into a point. And that's where Spider-Man drops in, and here we are, three-way story. What? It's going to be awesome. So again, Venom 252 is just, that is another, essentially a platform to that ultimate culmination of these storylines coming together. However, even though we'll see, I have no idea. Now, I know I'm going to get into this first. That is not my Blue Light Special. My Blue Light Special this week is for 12/3/2025 is Doctor Strange, issue number 1. Bam! All right, now, if you've been following the Strange stuff that's been happening for the past couple of years, you know that this is gnarly. Because it really where this started out with is in the whole blood hunt. Strange was essentially forced to, because of manipulation, to give Doom his title. And not being the Sorcerer Supreme anymore meant that that title had to go to Doom to go ahead and get rid of the vampiric problem that we're experiencing here on Earth. That stated, now that left Doc without a title and the ability to maintain, and he knew that Doom wasn't going to give it back. So he ended up cruising over to Asgard, essentially escaping the clutches of Doom, but trying to obtain some type of power to challenge. And look at that. There's a lot of books in here. Can you name them all? Some cool books. Also, again, to give a further breakdown and background story. So here we are with now Strange having some ability and of magic and ready to go ahead and challenge. But then we have this fallout with Doom of what's going on with that. So I'm not going to spoil that, which means that now this title is kind of up for grabs, per se, with Strange possibly not getting it, or hinted that Strange is not supposed to get it. And that was Angela. So we get Angela gets to reappear. Does she get the title? Who knows? I can't wait to get into that book. I'm telling you right after this, I'm jumping in there. So hey, to each and every single one of you that cruise on through, Jag, Agu, Las Cruces, and Agu, right? Anyone else I may have missed that cruise on through, I appreciate you. I truly do. And that's it for me, Entropy. You guys stay well. Until next time. Bye bye.